The first pitch is called The Fits, and it's a project that is presented by director Rose Holmer and producer Lisa Kjerulff, and they come from the USA. A big, warm welcome.
Hello. My name is Lisa Kjerulff. I am the producer.
And I'm Rose Holmer, and I'm the director.
Our film is called The Fits. Anna and I have been working together on various films, both narrative and documentary, for the past 10 years. And one thing that we really share and connect with is an emphasis on on-location immersive filmmaking, which to us means collaborating with the community and working with them to pull out the narratives and the stories that we're interested in telling. And for this film, for The Fits, we found this amazing dance team called the Q Kids. They're an all-female black teenage dance team based in Cincinnati, Ohio. And an interesting thing about Cincinnati is that it really lies on the divide between the north and the south of the United States. So it has a really long history of being really segregated both economically and racially. And so when we found this team, this dance team, the Q Kids, we were really inspired by the positive influence that the team has on the community. And so here is a video of the dance team.
So as you can see, there's a lot of emotion and power in this dance, and this dance really forms the backbone of our film. But the story is about a fictional girl. Her name is Tony. She's 13 years old, and Tony has been brought up by her two older brothers. They really see her as a little brother. They bring her along to this boxing gym where they practice together, and she's got a lot of physical strength. She can now do 23 consecutive pull-ups, which her brothers are very proud of, and they show her off to their friends. In the boxing gym every day, however, Tony is looking across the hall, because across the hall, she sees the Q Kids practicing every day. And in those girls, she sees a lot of strengths, but she also sees something else, this kind of mysterious feminine quality that she desires. And so our film really starts with Tony trying out for and landing a spot on the team. But being part of the team does not mean she's accepted into the society, because the society has a very strict hierarchical structure. And at the top is Legs. Legs is the captain. And Tony really sees Legs as the embodiment of this balance between grace and strength. She really desires to be like her. One day at practice, Legs is leading the girls through a routine, and as she's dancing, she starts to stutter. And there's some punctuation in her movement. And this little shake erupts into this full-on convulsion. Legs collapses in front of the team, and the girls are freaking out. Her little sister goes, grabs a cup of water, throws it in Legs' face. And this is the beginning of the fits in this team. Because it's almost like a chain reaction, this movement spreading from girl to girl to girl, and it mirrors this very real-life phenomena of mass hysteria. The coach, the parents, the community, they're all searching for this external explanation of this movement that they'll never find. Because as the fear of contamination spreads throughout the girls, the stress increases, and the fits are happening again and again and again. But there's one girl who is not having a fit, and that, as you may have guessed, is Tony. Tony just desperately wants to be part of this group. But she can't experience what the other girls are experiencing. So one day, after practice, she goes into the boxing gym. She's trying to imagine what it feels like to have this experience. She puts a towel down on the ground. She relaxes her shoulders. And it's as if she's trying to channel this movement into her body. She starts shaking her arms. And she hears this noise on the other side of the boxing gym. She sees Legs, her idol, making out with this boy. And the two girls lock eyes. It's a really mutually embarrassing moment, as you can imagine. The next day at practice, Legs is being really tough on Tony. She keeps asking her to repeat the movement again, from the top. So we find Tony standing in front of this group that she desperately wants to be embraced by. And it's at that moment that her body betrays her. It's at that moment, it's almost as if her body has a mind of its own. And I think a lot of you can relate with this because as a teenager, it's almost like you're at war with your body. There's pimples and pus and blood and stink, and you have hair in weird places, and you grow a foot overnight, or you grow boobs overnight. For me, I was a stick, and then I was a cello, and it freaked me out. And like Tony, I couldn't reconcile my new body with my idea of who I was. And in this moment in the film, Tony is rejected by her team as a fraud for faking this experience that they all have had a real experience. But Tony, through her changing body, is starting to realize that she has that balance of grace and strength inside of her, that she can't just abandon herself to fit in. And dance is not just a series of steps. Dance is a mode of expression. We, every day, use our bodies to communicate who we are. For me, dance is like this heartbeat in the film, and at the center of my cinematic vision is a juxtaposition of this very powerful, precise, and intentional movement of dance set against this really uncontrollable, this spontaneous, subconscious movement of the fits. And I cannot wait to bring that vision to life. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
Can you stay here?
Experts and consultants, or the president and Alberto, any questions you would like to ask our team? Anita? Gino?
Thank you.
I would like to know, in your mind, what is this film for? What is the ideal audience for your film? Young people or dancers? Who?
It's still there. I really think that there's a lack of content for teenage girls that does not have to do with obtaining external acceptance from a boy. And I'd really like to explore that space, both for teenage audience and maybe an audience a little bit older. But I still think that that's a gap that I see in the marketplace, and I'm exploring making content in that area.
Good. Have you already done your casting? Do you know who the girls are?
We've been in touch with the dance team, and in 2 weeks, Anna and our writer are going to Cincinnati to meet the girls in person and start that process.
Great. Very much looking forward to that. No other questions? Thank you very much for starting.